Well, it is 6 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get started. We have an exceedingly short agenda tonight, so I'm thinking this will be a pretty quick meeting. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the July 27th meeting of the Shelton School District Board of Directors, and we will go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you will join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. So moving on to item 2, which is the adoption of the agenda. Have school board members had an opportunity to look over the agenda? And if so, any comments, discussion, or a motion?
Looks like a very short agenda, so I'll move that we adopt the agenda.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the agenda is adopted. So moving on to item 3. Item 3 is community comments. I'll go ahead and read our community comments announcement. As part of the regular school board meeting, the board invites community members to make public comments in person and or by phone as conditions allow by calling the phone number published on our website and entering the meeting ID number. Our public comment procedure allows each person 3 minutes to speak, and comments will be heard during the 2 community comment periods as listed on the agenda. In accordance with the Open Publics Meeting Act, the board is not allowed to discuss items that are not on the agenda. The board may direct the superintendent to follow up on certain items that arise during public comment. As with in-person meetings, public comments received in writing or by email will not be read aloud, but will be directed for follow-up where appropriate. Please be mindful of how you present your testimony, as the board will not allow complaints against an individual staff member or student in open session unless that individual has requested an open public hearing. Please state your name before speaking. And seeing as there are only 12 of us currently logged in, does anyone have a public comment at this time? All right, so hearing no volunteers, there is another opportunity for public comments after the superintendent's report. So if you would like to make public comments, please plan for that accordingly. So we're going to move on to item number 4. Item number 4 is not something we usually have on our agenda, but tonight we are going to have a public hearing on the 2020-21 budget extension for the general fund. This is not anything special, happens fairly regularly. I was trying to remember during my 6 years here on the board how many times we've done it. I'm thinking it's probably at least 4 out of the 6, maybe 5 out of the 6. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the 2021 budget extension. If anyone would like to make comment on that now, you are welcome to do so. And I'm just going to take a really long pause here. All right, hearing no volunteers for making public comment, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing on the 2021 budget extension for the general fund. And we'll go ahead and move on to item 5, which is reports and recognitions, which we have none. So we'll move on to item number 6, which is the consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda tonight: minutes, personnel report, and a few general fund warrants. Board members, are there any discussion or is there a motion for our consent agenda?
I will move that we approve the consent agenda.
And I will second that.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda for this evening. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, consent agenda is approved. So moving on to item number 7, this is discussion and action item. And this 7.01 is the proposed resolution 21-10, which authorizes the budget extension for in the general fund for the 2020-21 school year. Brenda, do you want to make some comment about this for us? That would be great.
Sure. Good evening. Like you said, we've had a few of these, not too many, but basically the reason for this one this year is we want to make sure we have capacity for the extra funding that we received from the federal government for the CARES money and ESSER money. And so what we've done, I've gone in and entered a budget extension to OSBI for $1,468,237. What that equates to is the additional enrollment that we were above budget, which was 30.76 FTE total. And then plus the first ESSER 1 funds of the $975,000. So those are the two pots of money I've added on the revenue side. On the expenditure side, I just had to add in that amount, which went into basic ed and also in the PPE, which Robert paid out of maintenance because that's where a lot of that ESSER funds will come from. So when you're a first class district, you have to apply for this with OSBI prior to going over your appropriation that you adopted in your original budget. So I'm doing this so we're cautious not to go over. I don't believe we're going to, but I just want to make sure we don't. So this is a precautionary measure on our part. So I would request that you adopt resolution 2110. So we will be covered in the 2020-21 budget. Thank you.
All right, is there any questions for Brenda, any discussion around this resolution? All right, Brenda, is this something that I need to read into the minutes, or are we good just with it as it is?
We're okay as it is.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sandy, did you have a question or a comment?
No, just a comment that, we've known this was coming. She's been, preparing us for this, and now it's just time to take the action. So I can move that we approve resolution number 21-10, authorizing a budget extension in the general fund for the 2020-2021 school year.
I can second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 21-10 for the budget extension for the 2021 school year general fund. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so resolution has passed. So we're going to go ahead and move on to item number 8, which is the superintendent's report. So Mr. Jesse.
Thank you, Board President Carr and other board directors. Great to be here this evening on a very beautiful day. Just a quick update, just to say that, we're really anticipating some updates from state health and safety organizations or the governor's office regarding the reentry for the 21-22 school year. There may be updates or solidification of what the direction is that the state wants to take. So we're waiting for that. In the meantime, I would just remind all families, our doors are open for the 21-22 school year. Come on down. If you haven't registered already yet, we'd love to see you. Ready to help you. Our doors are open right here at our main offices, and then also coming up here in August, our school doors will open as well, I believe in the second week of August. We have also just an advocate for getting vaccinations. It not only is about your safety, but the safety of others. really helps us, again, create and sustain our students on site for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. So that's really important for us. Quick thank yous to Terry Meisenberg, served this last year as the Executive Director of Human Resources. Terry is serving out his last time here, and Linda Arnold is returning to the Shelton School District, thankfully, in the role as the Executive Director of Human Resources, and she'll be starting up next week. Also, sorry to say, but Don Wielander, our Director of CTE, has decided to retire. We wish Don very well. He did tremendous services, not only with the academies, other CTE courses, but of course our partnerships out in the community. So while I want to thank Don for all his work here, I believe over the last 6 years, if I'm correctly capturing his service here. So sorry to see him again go. Who doesn't want to say yes to Don? Anyway, with that, I wanted to say again, thanks for Terry and Don. We wish them well. And of course, Linda coming back. That's all I got.
All right, thank you very much. So this brings us to item number 9, which is our second opportunity for community comments. I am not seeing anyone has called in at this time. So I'm going to assume that we have no one interested in community comments tonight. We'll go ahead and move on then to board member comments. So Carrie, you're at the top of my list tonight. Would you like to go first?
Sure. And I was going to let you know too, I was receiving some text messages from Sally Brownfield. She apologizes that she wasn't able to make it. She tried the link. It wasn't working for her. Ended up running late at a doctor's appointment and was heading home. And I told her, we're actually almost done. So at this point, don't worry about getting on. So she apologizes for that. I don't have a whole lot of comments. I did attend the Board of Health meeting today that I sit on as the school board member. And they did talk about how the CDC is now recommending masking for kids, K-12, as well as indoor environments. That just, I think, came out today or at the end of day yesterday. And they were talking about Mason County as far as just cases, and they are on the rise. And they were saying that it is a mixture of breakthrough cases where people are vaccinated and getting, mildly sick, to some of them not being hospitalized, but feeling very sick, to those that are unvaccinated as well. So they were talking about that and just how the state is actually going to be having a lot more guidance and a lot more designation of how to even account for cases, because you have people that are vaccinated that then may get sick, and they're trying to designate all the different ways of how to record all of this now too. So I think we are going to see some changes in information. But that was a good meeting as well too. Outside of that, I'm sorry to hear about Dawn. That was a surprise to me. I'm definitely going to miss Terry. That was known, and I didn't realize this was his last week. So definitely wish both Terry and Dawn well, and just looking forward to, getting things going and hearing more information about how the school year is going to start. I'm anxiously awaiting that with my 2 children, who are wondering all about that as well. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you very much. Sandy.
Hi there. My connection's a little unstable, so I'll have to stay off camera. So I was sorry that I missed the last board meeting. I had family out of town, and we had a lot to get caught up on. But I did watch the meeting later and learned we had another new experience, having to wait for a quorum due to some bad connection too. So it was another learning adventure. I was at the Bye to Shelton the other week, talking with students and families as they walked by, and there's a lot of excitement and also a lot of nervousness about starting school. And, it is exciting. I have a lot of opportunity to pass the high school and watch the progress of the construction back there on the Met Academy. So very exciting. And I may end up missing the August 10th meeting. We are trying to nail down some plans, and I have a feeling it's going to interfere with that. And also, I'd like to wish, Don Wieslander and Terry Meisenberg well in their free time that they're having now. And hope they have lots of fun and enjoyment. And good seeing everybody.
All right, thank you, Sandy. I just want to remind board members, we have at this point scheduled a board retreat for August 9th. Hopefully that still works for everyone. And also I have sent you a link to the board self-assessment that we usually do this time of year. So hopefully you have an opportunity to work on that if you haven't already done so. It's pretty quick. We've done it several years in a row, so it's you can get through it pretty quickly. They say about 20 minutes. I think it was more like 10. So, and then I also wanted to wish Don Wieslander very best wishes. It was a surprise to see that he announced his retirement. Very happy for him, but very sad for the district. It's a big hole to fill. He's done an amazing job with our CTE program and our academy programs and everything he's done, and has just been such a positive and excellent person to work with. So I wish him the very, very best and thank him for all that he's done for our school district. All right, so we have no need for an executive session. So like I said, very short meeting. Go ahead and move on to item 12, which is adjournment. Anyone interested in making a motion that we adjourn?
I can move that we adjourn.
And seconded.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to our very short board meeting. Have a great rest of your evening and week.